To thread your machine for regular sewing, it is common to use an all-purpose thread in the needle and the bobbin. However, for embroidery, it is best to use a lighter weight thread in the bobbin, such as bobbin fill. By using a lightweight thread in the bobbin, your embroidery designs will be less dense on the back than if standard weight thread is used, providing the best quality designs. More thread is wound onto the bobbin, which means you won't have to wind bobbins as frequently as if standard weight thread is used. Usually, rayon or polyester thread is used in the needle. Your machine comes with Class 15J bobbins. It is important to use only Class 15J bobbins in your Futura sewing and embroidery machine. To wind the bobbin, the machine can either be set up in standard sewing mode or with the embroidery unit attached. To wind while in standard sewing mode, the foot controller is used. However, to wind a bobbin during the embroidery process, press the Start/Stop button and not the foot controller. To use the horizontal spool pin, place the thread spool on the pin and secure it with the spool cap appropriate for the thread spool. Or, to use the vertical spool pin instead, first place the removable thread guide onto the horizontal spool pin. At the back of the machine, pull down the spool pin and pull up the thread guide pole. Place the thread spool on the spool pin and draw the thread through the thread guide pole and the removable thread guide. Pull the end of the thread through the hole in the bobbin. Push the bobbin winder shaft to the far left position if it is not already there. Place the bobbin onto the shaft with the end of the thread coming from the top of the bobbin. Push the bobbin winder shaft to the right until it clicks. Hold on to the end of the thread. Start the machine. The bobbin will automatically stop turning when completely filled. Push the shaft to the left to remove the bobbin and cut the thread. To insert the bobbin, raise the needle to its highest position by turning the handwheel counterclockwise. Remove the bobbin cover plate by pushing the release button to the right while pushing the left corner of the plate. Insert the bobbin, making sure the bobbin rotates counterclockwise. Pull the thread through the first slot and then to the left. With a finger held gently on top of the bobbin, pull the thread through the slot and then leave about 6 inches of thread. Replace the bobbin cover plate onto the needle plate. Your machine has both horizontal and vertical spool pins. To use the horizontal spool pin, place the thread spool on the pin and secure it with the spool cap appropriate for the thread spool. Or, to use the vertical spool pin instead, first place the removable thread guide onto the horizontal spool pin. At the back of the machine, pull down the spool pin and pull up the thread guide pole. Place the thread spool on the spool pin and draw the thread through the thread guide pole and the removable thread guide. To continue threading the upper part of the machine, using either spool pin, raise the presser foot lifter. Always be sure to raise the presser foot lifter before threading the upper thread, or correct thread tension cannot be obtained. Turn the handwheel counterclockwise until the needle is in its highest position and the thread take-up is visible. Bring the thread in front of this guide. Holding the thread with both hands, pull it into the tension guide at the top of the machine. You should feel and hear it click into the tension mechanism. Floss it back and forth to ensure that it is securely in place. Guide the thread down along the groove and do a U-turn around the inside of the bottom tab. Bring the thread back up and slip it into the thread take-up from right to left. Insert the thread behind the horizontal groove, thread the last thread guide, then you can thread the needle. Your machine features an automatic needle threader. Hook the thread around this thread guide. Pull down the threader lever until the small hooked end passes through the needle eye. Bring the thread into the hooked end and pull it upward. Release the threader lever and thread simultaneously, and the needle will be threaded for you. To draw up the bobbin thread, make sure the presser foot lifter is raised. Hold the needle thread loosely with your left hand and turn the hand wheel counterclockwise with your right hand, first lowering the needle and continuing to turn until the needle comes back to its highest position. Lightly pull the top thread to pick up the bobbin thread, which will then appear through the needle plate slot. When in embroidery mode, place both threads under the foot. When working in standard sewing mode, place both threads under the presser foot as well. To replace bobbins during the embroidery process, raise the presser foot lifter, trim the thread, and remove the hoop from the machine, but do not remove the fabric from the hoop. Replace the bobbin, reattach the hoop, lower the presser foot, then continue. It is important to use Singer Chromium 2000 or 2001 needles for embroidery. These needles are designed to last for many hours of embroidering and will also result in better quality embroidery. Style 2000 is designed for woven fabrics like cotton, linen, wool, and silk. Style 2001 is designed for knits or stretch fabrics. Sizes 11 and 14 are most commonly used for embroidery. You may also use Singer Style 2020 regular point needles for woven fabrics or 2045 ballpoint needles for stretch fabrics.